Yesterday, I had an appointment with my mechanic shop for oil change and tire rotation. And this is my regular mechanic shop, or I should say, this was my regular mechanic shop for a few years. And I take my cars to that mechanic shop for past few years and regularly because I drive a lot and very often I do the oil change and tire rotation. And then it was at 11 o'clock, around like 8:39, something like that. I called them and I said, well, someone else actually picked up the phone, not the regular person. And I introduced myself and I said I have an appointment at 11 o'clock for oil change and tire rotation. However, I noticed that my front tires actually are kind of old and soon I should replace them anyway. So I don't need that part. It's going to be just oil change. And he said, okay. And then I arrived about 10 minutes to 11. I went inside and I noticed that there are different people there. I thought maybe they replaced the front desk with someone else. And then I realized that they not only they didn't know what was going on, and they were not familiar with the computer system to find my appointment in their system. And then I told them that I called before, like a couple hours before, and I was there just for oil change. And one of them, like there were like 3 people, they were just coming and going, and obviously they didn't know what they were doing. And I said, well, I'm here for oil change. And they said, okay. They couldn't find it. And finally they found it in the system. And they're like, okay, give me the key and when you will be back. I said, no, I stay here. This is just oil change, and every single time I stay here, they change the oil for me quickly, and I'll be out of here. I need the car, I have appointments, and I have to go. And he was like, this is not one of the fast oil change shops, and we're not gonna do it. I'm like, excuse me? I told the person when I called to make this appointment, and this is not my first time. For past few years, I come here every single time, and it's very strange that you're saying something like this. And he was like, okay. I'm like, what's going on here? Why people are so mad and so different? And I asked, and he's like, yeah, this is not under the old management. I'm like, okay, what happened to Eric? And Eric sold the shop. And I'm like, okay, when did you take over? Last week. I'm like, okay. But I had that appointment from the week before, and this is not good. Finally, they said, okay, it takes about hour and a half to do an oil change, just a regular oil change. And they're charging based on the previous service, which is actually expensive. Like just the oil change and adding a system cleaner, $170. With tax, it was $180 something. And I went to the waiting room. I waited for hour and a half, and nobody came to let me know if it's done or not. And then I went back to the front desk. Nobody was there. And then I went to the shop itself and I said, I'm wondering if my car is done. And I saw it actually, it was outside. So I thought, well, it's done already. And they're like, okay, let me check. They checked it and yeah, it's done. And I'm like, okay. And it was so bad service that I've never seen such a bad service. And I decided not to go back to that mechanic shop anymore because that was not my regular mechanic shop anymore. And I decided to talk to the people that I referred people to that mechanic shop before, and not only my friends, but also people from the Chamber of Commerce. So I decided to let them know not to go to that mechanic shop because it's totally different now. So the point here is your first contact, either your front desk or your customer service, can elevate your company to the top, or they can make you bankrupt. And I'm pretty sure this new company who took over of this mechanic shop, they not gonna do well in the future. And they will go down. And most likely, they will sell it to someone else for much lower price than before, because that mechanic shop actually was doing a very good job and they had a lot of customers. So back to our main point, your front desk or your first contact is very, very, very important to your business, to your company. And this is all about the leadership. Because if the leaders or the leader of this company did this transition smoothly and they had their employees to go and be trained by the previous employees and make everything routine just like before and learn how to work with the system and how to respond to the customers, then that would not be happening. But when the leader is not a good leader, and you see the results. And I'm pretty sure in the future, this company will not do well. Just wanted to discuss this subject with you, and you as a leader or the future leader or your employee of a company, and you can talk to your leader, and maybe in the future you will have a business or a company or organization. Just be careful with your leadership style and how you prepare your first contact to contact correctly to the people, to win hearts, to win loyalty, make customers loyal clients so they come back over and over and over. But if your front desk or your first contact breaks the heart of the customers or clients, they won't be back, and you lose your business and your company goes down for sure. Thank you so much for paying attention to this, and hopefully see you on the next video soon. Please go ahead, subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and coworkers and family members. See you on the next video.